Good morning everyone. I am Sasikumar, working as an assistant professor in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering at Sri College of Engineering and Technology, Sangagiri. Now we discuss about the introduction of compiler design. What is meant by compiler design? What a compiler do? Compiler is a translator. It converts the high level language into low level language. That means it converts the source language. It converts the source language into machine language. That means it translates source program, that is human readable program, that should be converted into the target program. Target program means that it is the machine language, that is machine readable language. Any compiler must perform two major tasks. The one is the analysis, the second one is the synthesis. One is the analysis, second one is the synthesis. What is meant by analysis? The analysis part converts the source program into intermediate code representations. The next one is the synthesis part. What the synthesis part do means it converts the intermediate code representation into the target machine code. For that purpose, we have to classify the structure of compiler into the 6 phases. The 6 phases can be classified into 2 parts. The one is the analysis part, the another one is the synthesis part. What are the 6 phases in the compiler means? The first one is the lexical analyzer. What the lexical analyzer do means it converts the source program into tokens. It reads each and every character by left to right one by one, and it converts the source program into number of tokens. That is the major role of lexical analyzer. The second phases of compiler is the parser or synthesis phase. The second phases of the compiler that converts the token into some parse tree, that is the hierarchical structure of the tokens. Third phases of the compiler is the semantic routines. That means synthesis phase. It converts the source program. Converts the source program, that is the parser converts the source program into the hierarchical tree. The syntax analyzer converts the hierarchical tree into the meaningful form. Next phases is the intermediate representation. The intermediate representation produce the syntax tree for some intermediate code representation. It may be the 3 address code like that. Next one, optimizer, code optimizer. Code optimizer is the 5th phases of the compiler. It translates the intermediate code representation into some machine readable code. Next, the last phases of the compiler is the code generator. It produces the output as target machine code, that is the target machine code, that is the assembly code. That's all. The first one, scanner. What the scanner do? That is the lexical analyzer. It analyzes the source program by reading the input and character by character and grouping of character into some individual words or symbol, that is called as tokens. It may be the input as the regular expressions or non-deterministic finite automata and deterministic finite automata and lexical lexemes. The second one, parser. What is by parser do? Given a formal syntax specification, it produces the output as some hierarchical tree, that is parse tree or whatever may be the graphical structure. The parser read the token and group them into the number of units and produce the context-free grammar for that parse tree. It may be context-free grammar, Baker's neural form and grammar analysis algorithm, LL and LR and SLR parser, LALR parser and York compiler. Next one, semantic routine. Check the static semantic of each and every tokens. It produces the syntax directed translation as the output. That means the meaningful production of the parse tree. Next one, the optimizer. before that we have some intermediate code representation. The optimizer produces the intermediate code generated by the semantic routine is analyzed and transformed into functionally equivalent but improve the IR code. It is the faster running machine code. That is the main goal of optimization. The last one is the code generation. Code generation produce the target machine code as the output. This is the structure of compiler. We have to see one example problem. This is the source program. Position is equal to initial plus rate star 60. The first phases of compiler we know that is the lexical analyzer. Lexical analyzer scans the each and every input of the source program and produce some token as the output. Here the position, it can be converted into some token as ID1. Next, equal and dot, and these are the operators. Operators, operator is same like that. Next one, initial. Initial is the expression, so it converts some identifier ID2 plus and rate as you have to convert as identifier ID3. Next, syntax analyzer. Syntax analyzer generate the parse tree or hierarchical tree for the tokens. Here the ID1 is equal to ID2 plus ID3 star 60. This is the hierarchical structure of parse tree. Next one, semantic analyzer. What does semantic analyzer do means the meaningful productions of the parse tree. That means the conversion of int to real of the 60. Next one, code generation. What is the code generation do? We already discussed that it have to produce some intermediate code representation. What is the intermediate code representation means? It is the form of 3 address code. 3 address code, we know that it consists of 3 address field, that three variable name, temporary 1, temporary 2 and temporary 3. That's why we called as it is the 3 representations. Temp 1 we have to name as int to real of 60, temporary 2 ID3 star int to real of 60. We already defined int to real of 60 as temp 1, so ID3 star temp 1. Next one, temp 3 is equal to ID2 plus temp 2. ID1 is stored as temp 3. This is the intermediate code representation form. Next, code optimization. We already defined that. What is by code optimization? Simplifications of intermediate code representation. Faster running machine code. That is the main goal of code optimization. We know that the last code generation, the output of the code generation is having the 4 lines, but the code optimizer reduces the simplification of code as 2 lines. And that is the main goal of code optimizer. The last one, code optimizer, that is the code generator. That output is the machine code, machine readable code. We have to store all the identifier into registers and move into the register like that. This is the target machine code. Thank you.